So do you finally get bowl eligible at Nebraska? Like, is there a sigh of relief? Like, what was your reaction when it finally happened?
Probably a sigh of relief. It was kinda cool the way it happened. It was Wisconsin. We hadn't, I don't think, ever beaten Wisconsin. On this field, they said, "Hey, the trophy's over there," and I literally was like, "What trophy?" Like, I didn't really realize it, and, but it was really cool, like, to see the fan base, to see all the people. It's one thing about, Husker fans, like, they show up no matter what, and so to show up for a moment like that was cool, to see our players, to see the guys from the first team I coached that went 5 and 7 that didn't go to a bowl, to see them out there hugging the guys was one of the cool moments of my career.
So when you are building towards that and you need to snap that streak first, how do you also now still reframe that and be like, there's still more to do? You don't only want to make a bowl game. You have all these other goals.
I think it's recognizing along the way, like, I think I told the guys, like, "Hey, let's not apologize for breaking something that hasn't happened. Let's not apologize for going to a bowl game. Let's go win it now." But also, like, no matter what happens in our life, I always wanna do more. It's one thing I wanna teach our guys. Whether it's, making some money, getting a good job, accomplishing something, like, I'm sitting here at 50 years old, and I wanna do more after 50 than I did before 50. So, I think that's just a mindset we wanna instill in the guys to help them be great, and so, yeah, 6 and 6 is not what we want, but it was a cool thing to be a part of this year.
Yeah, you had to start somewhere, right? So tell me a little bit about Dylan Raiola as a freshman, the impact he had, the ups, the downs, the potential.
I mean, he came in, with so much around him. I was really proud of him. I mean, it's really, he had to lead based off of, like, well, I'm the quarterback. He hadn't done anything yet. Had like, he would obviously work hard, but as a freshman, he was also trying to, like, at first try to keep his mouth shut and just kind of fit in. And I thought he did a great job. Like, he went out there in big moments. He wasn't afraid to try to make a play. Wasn't afraid to put it on his back. He would put his body out there. Was a great teammate. Never made excuses. So, yeah, we all went through the highs and lows of last year, but I think he came out of it, um, really a much better player, but a much better leader. And now here he is. Now guys have seen what he'll do. Now they've seen how hard he works, and leadership for him comes really naturally now.
I was going to say, I mean, there's obviously growing pains when you have a true freshman playing quarterback, but then you have the luxury of a sophomore who has so much experience. So what's left? What's his next steps to improve?
Well, I think he's going to be one of the best players of the nation. I think he's going to play quarterback, for somebody for the next 15, 20 years. I mean, he's just that gifted. It comes that naturally to him. He did a great job this offseason of, like, of really, taking care of his body. You're going to take a pounding in the Big Ten. I think he recognizes, hey, I have to run sometimes to beat some of the things, the guys are going to do against me. So he's done a great job there. Done a great job as a leader. Um, but I think the biggest thing is, you need your quarterback to take the ball at the end of the game and go down and win the game. And no matter what the odds are, no matter if your left tackle's hurt, your receiver's out, like, you gotta go get it done. And so he recognizes that. He knows that's the step. And for Nebraska to win close games, Dylan's going to have to go make it happen.
He's also got swag to him, right? We're talking about like the way he dresses, the way he looks, like coming off the bus, going to a game. Do you encourage that? Do you lean into it? Do you wish your quarterback didn't do those things? Like, how do you handle it? Or like, think of it?
I think it's a great question. I think no one wants, like, a celebrity quarterback. You don't want someone who's like me, 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 me. But you also want you want guys to be themselves. And, like, even for me, like, if I wear something, like, if I don't pick it out myself, but if they say, "Hey, coach, wear this," and I wear it, and it's something that's trendy, like, the guys go nuts, right? So I think for Dylan, I just want Dylan to be himself. I want him to be authentic to who he is. I want all my guys to be authentic to who they are. Now, I mean, if the whole team's gonna wear, like, if we're all wearing a jogging suit, I want you all, all to wear that same jogging suit, but be yourself. Bring yourself to this game, and I love that about him. But, you have to understand who he is. Like, he's also the guy, like, on Mother's Day, like, the first text my wife gets is probably from Dylan or Emma Johnson, our tailback. Like, he's a family guy. He's someone who cares about, people that are close to him. So, I think it's all genuine. I like it all.
One of my takeaways from that is we need to get you dressing like all the trends or bring back the smock that you used to have on the sideline.
I think that was a one and done. I really do.
It was the best.
I enjoyed the time, but I just don't know. I don't know if I could pull the smock off anymore.
I think you could. I think you could. I want to ask about Dana Holgorsen coming in. Obviously, you brought him in last year towards the end of the season, but as a full-time offensive coordinator, working with your guys all off season, what are your hopes and expectations?
Well, it's one of the best things I've ever done. I think we're gonna have one of the best offenses for many reasons. We have good players. We talk a lot about Dylan, but we've got explosive wideouts. We got great backs. We have a plethora of tight ends, and we have a big, powerful, physical offensive line. What I needed was, I needed someone like Dana that can put all that together, that can have a great plan. But the thing I love about coach is it's not just, the play call. I mean, he's a grinder. He works at it. He demands execution. I'm a little bit more of a defensive coach. Like, we were playing Wisconsin last year. We had a lead, and I probably would run the ball, 5 straight times. And, he calls a pass, and I'm almost having a heart attack on the sideline, but it worked. And it worked because the players feed off of his confidence, and the confidence comes from attention to detail. So we have the players, we have the OC. I expect great things.
Why did you want him to be running your offense?
Because I wanted someone with his history, his experience, but he's also been a head coach. And as a head coach, I got to know him. And I think when you've been a head coach, you recognize that, it's bigger than just, hey, how many points did we score or how many yards did we throw for? It's about winning. It's about protecting the defense. It's about the different elements. It's someone for me to bounce ideas off of. So when I went to the NFL, I got to know Dana a little bit. We read some things together. My wife and Julie and I hung out with him one night, and we both left like, that's a great guy. I'd love to work with him. And so when the time came, I was blessed that he said yes.
You talked a little bit about your affinity for defense. You did have to replace your defensive coordinator. So what are you looking for from John Butler in this role?
We've played great defense the last 2 years, and Tony White did a great job. And when the job came open, really, as I thought about, like, what are the next steps? Like, if you want to be in the CFP, and not just be in the CFP, but win it, you've got to win crucial moments. You've got to win third down. You've got to win 2-minute. And when I looked at John, he was someone that was in the NFL for 10 years, had the top secondary in the NFL for like 5 of those years, and I wanted to advance some of the things we do defensively versus great throwing teams. And so we'll be tough versus the run. We'll be tough when it's really windy in Nebraska. But in those games versus really explosive teams, can we limit the big plays? Can we get to the quarterback? And when I talked to John, I felt like he had the experience to get that done.
Feels like there's been so much movement between college coaches going to the NFL or NFL coaches coming to college. You've done this, but are the schemes similar enough or evolving off of each other that like that transition and that stuff works and that like solving those problems in the NFL will solve problems in college?
Yeah, I think it's much similar now than it ever has been. I think one of the biggest differences is the field's different. So some of the zone concepts that you can do in the NFL, it's harder to do in college because the hashes are different. Um, but it just takes smart people that can kind of figure out, hey, how do we tweak this? How do we adapt this? Having John in the system for a year really made me feel great about, okay, this is going to be great because I could see how smart he was, how competitive he was, how much he knew, but that yet he had been in college with me.
You've had a lot of success in your past in year 3 at places that you've coached. What is it about that jump or having set a foundation for 2 years that makes you so confident about what's about to come for Nebraska?
Well, I think all the jobs we took, we were kind of taking over a place that was struggling. We took over Temple coming off like a 4-7 year, moving up in conferences. We took over Baylor coming off of a terrible scandal that 45 players were gone over the course of a couple of years. We came into Nebraska, which hadn't been to a bowl game since 2016. So the first thing is we just had to improve the team. So it takes a couple of years. Some guys take over a place that's winning a ton and they win a ton. We take over places that haven't been winning and we try to get them to win a ton. So yeah, I think it's that. But the second thing is, to what you said, what we do is hard. Like we believe in work, we believe in practice, we believe in doing hard things. And so the first year we kind of teach it. The second year there's still like a little pushback. And then finally by the third year, if they're still with us, like they've bought into it. They own it. It's their thing. And so when you look at, Dylan, when you look at the guys we have on defense, when you look at our offensive line, they believe in what we do and they're going to fight for it.
So your schedule's really interesting. We've got the neutral site game, Kansas City, a lot of home games, not that many trips away from Lincoln. What's success when you look at this schedule and this season?
Oh, I mean, for number one, I think one of the issues that we've had in Nebraska is, we kind of play really good this game and kind of play down to this game. And we want to play to a certain standard each and every week. Beyond that, we want to be a team that fights to have a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game. We want to be a team that is relevant in the college football play. We want to go to the college football playoff. And I think we have the players to do it. I think we have the coaches to do it. It's not going to be easy. I mean, we have to We have to go to some tough places. We twice this year we go to the East Coast. They have to come back and play a Friday night game, which is hard. But you know what? That's part of doing something special.